Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the good old WTD question mark here on my channel, you know. Longest running series on this channel, always been an opportunity for me to, come here and give you guys negative feedback on topics that can usually be very controversial, and are usually much more serious than what I do over in the Mixer or Cinema Chazzy, Telechazzy, whatever Chazzy other segments I have, And today's video is going to be something very, very serious, and I plan on it being a concept vlog, so it's just going to be something where I talk to you guys here with very minimal editing, It's literally just me and the background music that you guys are going to hear, And today's topic is something that honestly is very hard to cover because it's something that really breaks my heart and makes me feel just agonized, at the lack of action, that people are not... The lack of action by people in general, politicians, and world leaders who say that they will always help us and make things better, but they clearly don't, And of course, living far away from the United States right now, makes it, it's very strange giving my opinion on this, but because I spent so many years of my life in that country, I feel like this affects me a lot more than it should. It affects me a lot more than, I don't know, any other Brazilian citizen who lives around here, because Brazilians seem to largely not care about things that happen outside of their country, especially when it comes to the United States of America, Brazilians seem to hate America for some reason, even though they always flock over there every year and spend their money, it's just stupid. But I'm going to be talking a little bit more about gun control, mass shootings, that unfortunately happen a lot in the United States, So far this year, up until now, there have been 300 mass shootings, and it's actually really scary if you stop to think about it, because every year it just seems to get higher, man, and it's been 300 up until now, Last year in 2021 there were 700 mass shootings recorded, Before that in 2020 there were 611, and before that in 2019 there were 417, I don't really think I should keep going, you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys get the point here, There have been a lot of mass shootings, over the years, and the most recent one was actually over the 4th of July weekend, and actually it was one of several shootings. There were actually 14 shootings recorded over that 4th of July weekend, This one was in Highland Park, Illinois, and it actually left 6 people dead and dozens injured, and it was really, really sad and hard to take in, A little bit before that, back in May, there was, of course, now the infamous rampage at an elementary school of all places, in I forgot how to pronounce it, Uvalde, I believe, in Texas, and 19 children were killed, man. It's hard enough when adults are killed, indiscriminately by a madman with a gun, but 19 kids, man, and 2 teachers. And it seems like it's just gonna keep getting worse, and gun control now is more important than ever, and it doesn't really feel like a lot of the politicians, the governors, the president himself, Joe Biden, it doesn't really seem like they are taking this as seriously as they should, because the gun control laws are not being reinforced. It's almost like Americans have this need to have guns in their homes, just to show off or to feel tough or superior, There are other countries who have reinforced gun laws, certain parts of Asia and Europe, like Norway, for example. And I do believe Switzerland and Germany also have good examples of this, where they completely outlawed guns completely, or just in a very limited capacity, and the way they did it has reduced, deaths by guns, dramatically, while in the US they continue to just increase, every year more and more people die from mass shootings, and usually sometimes the guy who does it immediately kills himself, The most infamous example is, of course, the Columbine High School massacre in 1999, and that went down in history as being the worst mass shooting in the US, Probably not just because of the amount of deaths, but just how premeditated and organized it was, man. 2 high school kids bringing in guns and shooting their fellow students and faculty, That's just crazy. And the very simple fact that nothing too strong happened after that to, kind of like how can I say, to reinforce gun control really sickens me down to my stomach, Because it's a country that I love and admire and respect so much, but it does have its flaws, man, and it really shows in times like these. I think the saddest thing about the Texas shooting in particular was how the police officers simply refused to go into school to help, man, you know? I think that they were afraid for their own officers or something, you know? Like, they were waiting for the shooter to stop shooting so they could send the police officers inside, you know? It's like they were worried for their own safety, and there were kids in there being shot, man. The cops didn't even let a mother go inside to get her kids, dude. I mean, it's almost like they knew who the mass shooter was. It's almost like they planned it out or something, you know? And she did eventually manage to sneak in and grab her kids and leave, you know? But 19 kids were killed, man. It's just crazy because they're children. They're just innocent. They're there to learn, you know? To see their friends, and then they just... Imagine the parents, man, the pain that their parents went through, you know? It's freaking crazy, and the survivors of it, you know? Imagine some of the teachers, the survivor's guilt that you survived and your kids didn't, you know? And while they're in the school, you're supposed to look after them and protect them, you know? It's just... Well, anyway... So far, not a single week has passed in 2022 without at least 4 mass shootings, you know? It's crazy, man. I do believe that there's about, like... There's an average of 1 per day now, you know? Mass shootings were 4 or more people, not including the shooter or injured and killed, you know? There have been at least 1 per day. There has been at least 1 per day, and this really doesn't seem like it's gonna go away anytime soon, man. If you guys take like if you guys extrapolate this over a calendar year, you know, I mean, more and more people are gonna die because less and less gun control is being evoked, you know, because mass shootings have killed more than 343 people and injured 1,391 people all through the 4th of July, you know, recently. So it's crazy, man. It's freaking crazy, you know. And now, of course, you might argue that, I don't know, sometimes it's somebody with the screw loose, you know, like there was that attack a long time ago, back when the COVID was starting to really ravage the planet, you know, there was a lot of xenophobia and hatred directed towards Asians, you know, there were many hate crimes, there were a few women who were actually killed because of this, you know, this random psychotic shooter went into a salon and mowed down a few of them, and that's what garnered the, you know, Stop Asian Hate, you know, and Asian Lives Matter movements, you know, which was very well justified. But unfortunately, you know, putting hashtags on a social network and recording videos, you know, and talking about it, that's not what's gonna make this go away. It's the attitudes that's gonna make it go away, you know? It's you taking away guns from the people who clearly have no idea what they are used for or should be used for, you know? They're supposed to protect. You know, police officers are armed with guns that they should use only in the worst situation possible, you know. It should be the last resort, only if there's a direct threat to you or the others around you, you know. But there are police officers who do, of course, abuse this power, you know. Police brutality is still a thing, especially against blacks, you know. If you think that racism does not still exist in America, you are just so stupid. It's not even funny, man. Crawl out from under your goddamn rock, man. Police brutality is a thing, and it is very heavily directed towards minorities, you know, especially African Americans. And unfortunately, it seems like there is no silver lining here. It just seems, it's like my video talking about abortion, you know, and how women have the right to get abortions, you know. It's the same line of thought. There's no silver lining. There's no way that we can combat this if we just continue to ignore the things that are happening right in front of us, you know. There's really no way to, you know, there's no way to sugarcoat it. You can't beat around the bush, man. Either you ban guns or you continue to allow shootings to happen, you know. You have to really limit guns to, I mean, I understand that there are some people who are licensed to carry weapons, you know. They do an entire course and they learn how to use the weapon, you know, and they keep it in their home for protection, and they rarely, if ever, use it, you know. They have kids and pets, you know, maybe they live in a sketchy neighborhood, or you're an Army veteran who, I do believe Army veterans are already entitled to have guns in their homes. I believe it's kind of like one of the, I don't know what the Constitution talks about that, but I think that it's easier for them to carry weapons, you know, in their household. But it's just, you know, limit the guns to people who actually have a level head, or just ban them completely outright, man. That is the way that you're going to combat this, you know, not putting hashtags, you know, or going on Twitter and talking about gun control, because the thing is that a lot of people seem to think that social media is the platform for you to change the world, and that's not really how it works, man. On social media, and especially on places like Twitter, you're not not going to get justice. What you're going to get is attention, okay? I think I've said this before in another video, you know, and it's like nothing rings more true than this, you know? Gun control is not going to be stopped through Twitter or social media. It's going to be stopped when these goddamn politicians wake the hell up and start actually making a change in their community and in their country, man. Because without them, unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do, because they have the power. They have all the cards here, and they are deciding not to play these cards for some reason. Now, obviously this video was partially inspired by the last one that I uploaded, which was playing a shooting game, you know, and now do not take it out of context. You know, I do realize that I upload a gameplay of me shooting down a bunch of people and having fun and stuff, you know, and cheering, but it's just a video game, man. It's just a form of entertainment, you know. It's not because I play a video game where I shoot people that I'm going to want to take a gun and shoot people in real life, you know, and it's just a game, okay? To try to separate that last gameplay from this vlog here, okay? They are two completely unrelated things. I just felt like it would fit a little well, you know, playing a shooting game and then immediately talking about why it's wrong to do something like that in real life, you know. And hopefully you guys can see the separation there between game and real life issues, you know. But in general, man, I just feel, I've been feeling so disappointed lately with all of it, you know. Everything just seems to be mounting against, you know, Americans, you know. And there are many people who are against, or rather, who are for gun control and are against violence, you know. But they live in a country where mass shootings happen very, very frequently, especially school shootings, you know. Like, it's really crazy, man. Here in Brazil, I do believe there has been one documented school shooting which happened in I do believe it was this this city called Suzano, you know, and it was probably the very first and the only school shooting that I've at least ever heard of, you know, so they are few and very far in between. But in the US, for some reason, it seems like it happens a lot. Maybe it's because it's easier to acquire guns over there, you know, or the government clearly doesn't care too much, you know, so nobody seems to give a crap. That's what the point is, you know. While I was living over there, you know, and it seemed like the school shootings, maybe I just didn't pay a lot of attention to them. I didn't really watch the news when I was a kid over there, you know, but it seemed like at the very least around my city, you know, in Florida, you know, in the interior of Florida, not a lot of that happened. There was very little crime, you know, but just looking back on it so many years now and researching and seeing just how rampant and frequent school shootings are, it just breaks my heart, man. You know, this is not cool. This is not the world that we should be striving to raise our kids in, you know. So in whatever position you are now in the US, if you are in a position that is high enough of authority for you to make a difference, make a change, please do not hesitate to do so. This is the time now where we need people like you, okay? This is the time where we need to draw attention to all of these crazy acts of random gun violence and try to stop it before one of our kids is victim to it, okay? One of your kids, all right? One of your neighbor's kids or the neighborhood kids, you know? We have a chance to stop it, but only if we rally together and protest and fight against it and actually advocate for it instead of just posting about it online, you know? This is coming from a guy who is just recording a video and who unfortunately is not in a position to rightfully protest against it, you know, or make a change, but maybe one day I can. But for now, all I can give you guys is this video advocating for gun control, and hopefully a lot of people watch it and agree and spread the message. That's all I can hope for right now. And that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you agree with what I've said in this video and you want to share it with other people to get the message across. And if so, I really do appreciate it. If you happen to enjoy it, please go ahead and give it a like and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, might as well hit the notification bell as well to know exactly what time I upload. And that's it for now. This is Chazzy signing out for now. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.